The concept of locking and or freezing and or splitting cells. Do you happen to have one of those cool picture-in-picture televisions at home that allow you to view a second channel's picture nested in your main viewing area as you watch the main channel? If so, you may be able to better appreciate the concept of locking or freezing cells to allow you to look at more than one part of your Excel worksheet at any given time. For example, you can freeze panes to allow specific rows or columns to remain visible even when you scroll to a far different location on your worksheet. Say that you've got a worksheet whose data scrolls well out of the visible work pane, and you want to be sure to be able to still see the labels defining either the rows or the columns or both. What you can do in this case is that you can freeze the columns or rows or both containing the labels or other data so that you can do just that. You can also split panes, which means to split your work pane to show two areas and two distinct parts of your worksheet. Now here, we've already kind of scrolled out into Excel boondocks, but imagine, and you will see, especially in professional environments, spreadsheets that go well into the hundreds of columns or hundreds and hundreds of rows. So you're going to hit this kind of a situation probably at least once in your life, if not once a day. However, for this purpose, we want to go back to our labels for our rows and columns. I'm going to show you a quick way to do that. Go to your Edit menu, click Go To, or press Ctrl-G, and now for a reference, you want to press A1, click OK, and you go right back to the main area. To lock rows, you'd select the row just below where you want the lock to appear. So for example, I want to lock to make certain I always see this particular data in the first three rows. So what I'll do is click just below that, and now we'll go to the window pane and select Freeze Panes. Now this will stay the same, while if I move down here, I can scroll while those first three rows still appear. If I want to undo this or change it, I'll go back to the window menu and I'll select Unfreeze Panes. When you want to lock a column, for example, if I always want to see these first two columns, I would click just to the right of it to select the whole column. Then I would go to the window menu and select Freeze Panes. Now again, the information in the first two columns is locked, while I can move as far as I want out or down and still be able to see this information. If you want to lock both a column and a row, such as you might have in the case where you have labels here and here that you want to be able to see regardless, you would click the cell just below and to the right of where you want the split to appear. Then, when you've made your choice, you would click Window and split your screen into various positions. For example, here we've split it into two sections. So we've got a workbook frame here, and we can also move here. When you want to remove this split, you go back to Window and click Remove Split. At any time, as a matter of fact, you can always go back to the window menu and do whatever you need to do. You could also do various things. You could open a new window, and I think we've covered the window menu in the past. But this will give you an idea of what you can do with Excel. And notice too that when you lock or split cells that you'll see a border appear. So for example, if we're choosing here and choosing here, you'll see that when we create Freeze Pane, you'll see a border appears here.